Hello, good morning students, and welcome back once again to another video for the class 9. And today we will be revising all the formulas that are important for the whole of the 9th standard, and this will be useful to you in the future as well. So starting from the very first chapter, that is motion chapter. So in the motion chapter we had quite a few formulas, and starting from the very first one, that is speed. So speed is distance upon time. Okay, this was S is the speed, so don't get confused. The next one was velocity. So velocity, V is displacement upon time. Over here S is displacement. Once again, don't get confused. From now onwards we will be using velocity instead of speed, okay, because now we know the difference between scalar quantities and vector quantities, and we will be dealing with vector quantities a lot. So remember this one's already we know, so don't get confused between S and S. That S is for speed and this S is for displacement, okay. The next one was acceleration. Acceleration A is V minus U upon T, where V is final velocity and U is initial velocity. Okay, V is final velocity and U is initial velocity. I hope this one is clear to you. If you remember all the formulas correctly, this is the one. Acceleration. After this we had three equations of motion which were most important, and that is V is equal to U plus Pt, first equation. Second one, S is equal to Ut plus half At square, this is second equation. And the last one, V square minus U square equals 2As, this is third equation. Okay, you can say that this was velocity time relation or velocity time equation. This one is distance time equation, and the final one is velocity and distance equation. Velocity and distance equation or displacement. I hope this much is clear to you students. Very easy. Just remember these formulas and you will be good to go. I hope I have covered all the formulas over here. For the uniform velocity or the speed for the object in circular motion, it is velocity V or speed is equal to distance covered, and in the case of a circular motion, the person or the object is covering circumference, which is 2 pi r. Okay, so it is 2 pi r upon time taken. I hope this is clear to you students. Quite easy. The next chapter was laws of motion. Laws of motion. So you have to remember the laws, but we know the first law did not have any formula. So in this video we are just focusing on the formulas. So the first law, which was the law of inertia, did not have any formula. But after that we studied about momentum, and momentum P is given as mass into velocity. Okay, where P is momentum and M is mass of object. V, you already know, V is velocity. And the second law of motion, which was based on the momentum, we know that is final momentum minus initial momentum upon time taken, that is rate of change of momentum, force, is equal to rate of change of momentum, that is final momentum minus initial momentum upon time taken, or force is equal to mass into acceleration. We have these two formulas. Okay, and this final momentum and initial momentum can also be written as mass into final velocity minus mass into initial velocity upon time taken. If you take m common, then v minus u upon t is acceleration. So we have these two formulas regarding force. All of this is really important for you. when you study the chapters, after completing a few chapters, it is better to revise all the formulas because this will be applicable in the future. So it is quite easy for you to remember when you go through these formulas at once. Okay? Okay students, so this was second law of motion. Third law of motion, as we already know, it is the action and reaction are equal and opposite and they act on two different objects. So for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. This is the third law of motion, we also know that. But once again, we did not have any particular formula for the third law of motion. We only know that force F, that is action, is equal to minus force reaction, where minus sign indicates opposite direction. So don't get confused. This minus sign over here indicates the opposite direction. You can say that force action is equal to force reaction, but in opposite direction. This is not a minus, this is just a pointer for you to understand. Okay, don't get confused. I hope this much is clear. And after this, based on the third law of motion, we had the final formula, that is the law of conservation of momentum, where it stated that for a closed circuit or a closed environment, the total momentum of the system remains unchanged. That means it remains constant. And so for that we had a formula that mass into velocity, that is initial momentum, and mass into initial momentum of the first object and the second object is equal to mass into velocity, that is momentum of the final momentum of the first object plus final momentum of the second object. So the initial momentum of both the objects after their strike, and then final momentum of both the objects after striking when the momentum has changed, still the initial and final will remain the same. If this and this are changed, the initial and final momentums of individual objects is changed. But when you take the total of the two momentum, that is this one and this one, in the similar way these two are also changed. But when you take the addition of sum of both of this momentum, then the total initial momentum and total final momentum remains same. Okay, this proves that and momentum is conserved in a particular system. We had the whole derivation for it, and I think you remember it very well. Okay, we started from F action is equal to F reaction, where F is equal to M into A, and where A we kept V minus U upon T, and similarly on and on we moved forward. Okay, so very simple. After this, the chapter was finished, and then we moved on to the gravitation chapter. Okay, so the gravitation chapter, for that we also had quite a few formulas, and we'll go through it. Okay. Okay, students. So the third chapter, that is gravitation, for that also we had quite a few formulas. Starting from the very first, that is the law of gravitation, once again given by Newton. So the Newton's law of gravitation, we had force proportional to m1 m2 upon d square, which can be written as force F is equal to g into m1 into m2 upon distance square. Mass of the two objects, the force of gravitation, is equal to the product of mass of the two objects divided by the square of distance between them. This gave us the gravitational force between the two objects, where g is gravitational constant. Okay, its value is constant throughout the universe. It is also known as universal gravitational constant. Its value is given by 6.623 into 10 raised to minus 11. Okay, into Newton meter square per kg square. So it is Newton meter square per kg square. Its unit, cross multiplication of this, so Newton into meter square upon m1 and m2, that is kg into kg square. I will mention the units for all of these formulas as well. So this is the force of gravitation, the value of gravitational constant. After this, we studied about the acceleration due to gravity, where we compared the second law of motion with the law of gravitation. Okay, and we got this value for the acceleration, that is small g. This is acceleration, not gravitational constant. Okay, so acceleration is equal to g into mass of Earth upon radius of Earth square, because acceleration due to gravity of Earth, we are comparing to the gravity of Earth for a particular object that is free falling. So उसका acceleration कितना होगा? What will be the acceleration of the object that is free falling? And so for that we have the formula with what acceleration it will be falling down. And this has nothing to do with the acceleration, mass of the object. It is totally dependent on the mass of Earth and radius of Earth. After this we studied about weight. We have misconception that our mass is weight. So wherever we go, someone asks you what is your weight. That is not your weight actually. Whatever you mention it, that is 40 kg, 45 kg. That is not your weight. That is your mass. And for weight, we have once again a formula that is weight is equal to mass into acceleration. Where mass is the mass of the object, 40, 45 kg, 50 kg, whatever the mass, and g, that is acceleration. And this value was found to be 9.8 meters per second square. Because this is acceleration, so value is 9.8 meters per second square. Quite easy. You substitute the value of g, that is 9.8, and multiply it with your mass, that is 45 or 50 kg, whatever. And then you get the answer in newtons. Why? Because weight is actually a force. This is mass into acceleration, just like mass into acceleration for the second law that we studied. Okay, same thing, just we have mentioned it weight because it is due to the gravitational force of the Earth, that is why. Now obviously when we are going on the surface of the moon, the mass of the moon is different and radius of the moon is different, and therefore the value of acceleration on the surface of moon is different, and so the person on the moon feels lighter. Why? Because the radius and mass of the moon is much less compared to the Earth, and so the person is able to jump a larger distance, and the gravitational force with which the moon pulls is very less, and therefore the weight of a person or an object on the surface of moon is different. The weight of a person or an object on the surface of Earth is different. Okay, person is lighter on the surface of moon, which is given by weight on the surface of moon is equal to 1 by 6 the weight on Earth. But once again, the weight on moon also, its unit will also be in newtons. Okay. Now let us mention the units for all of the points over here. Speed is meters per second, very easy. Velocity is also meters per second because distance or displacement is in meters. Okay, or kilometers per hour. But you have to convert it in meters per second. For acceleration, it is meters per second square. Acceleration, it is meters per second square. Now these are the equations, and equations don't have unit, you just have to substitute the values. Whichever unit you are finding or whichever value you are finding, for that particular physical quantity, you will give that particular unit. These are the basic physical quantities, and when you substitute them, whichever physical quantity you are finding, suppose if it is u, that is its initial velocity. If you are finding initial velocity, then it will be meters per second. If it is final velocity, then also meters per second, because they both are velocities. If you are finding acceleration in this formula, then you will substitute meters per second square. Time, of course, is in seconds, so I will write the value of time over here. Time is in seconds. For all the formulas, time is in seconds. For momentum, the unit is mass is in kilograms, okay, and v is meters per second. So momentum can be given as kilogram meter per second. Kilogram meter per second. Not kilogram upon meters per second. Kilogram into meter per second. This is the unit of momentum. Force is kilogram meters per second square. This is given as kilogram meters per second square, or in short, Newton. We are writing it. But SI unit, this is mass, this is kilogram. Acceleration is meter per second square. Simply multiplication of the two, that is kilogram meters per second square. This is once again an equation. So no particular unit. If you are finding the value of one particular physical quantity, then you have the unit. Okay. Over here, this is once again force, so it is given in Newton. Value of this gravitational constant has already been given. Newton meter square per kg square. Kg square. My mistake. Newton meter square per kg square. G is 9.8 meters per second square. Weight is mass into acceleration, so it is force, so it is Newton. Same is for the mass on the surface of moon as well. Okay. mass over here will remain constant. Okay, so mass is equal to kilograms. Mass is in kilograms. This concludes all of the formulas for the 3 chapters. The final chapter, that is work and energy. We recently finished that and we already know the formulas for that. So we'll just revise this one because your post-midterm syllabus includes these 3 chapters. Okay, and for the final exam we have work and energy. So gravitation, it will be 70% and these 2 chapters will be 30% included in the post-midterm exams. I hope this is clear to you, students. We'll talk more about the revision and other topics in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.